When I was 12, I ran away from home. I was asked to mop all of the floors in the trailer. That was where we lived. And my sisters, all three of my sisters, they all got to go play in the creek, whatever. And that was a big deal to me because that was like the fun thing to do, to go play, because we had all these creeks that went through our property. And like I said, I've got soft hands now. I used to have lots of calluses on my hands from working on a farm. So I thought I was treated unfairly, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I got to stay home and work, and the girls, they get to go play in the creek. I'm out. So I packed up my bag of essentials and decided I was going to run away from home. And whatever every 12-year-old packs is a tent, because you got to have somewhere to sleep, a big knife, because you got to kill your food, matches, and then 4 Mountain Dews, because you got to stay hydrated. So I jumped on my sister's pink banana seat bike because mine was broken and theirs was in full function. So I jumped on their bike, had a little extra room in the banana seat, had some streamers, jumped on the bike, and we live in an area that's really hilly where I grew up, and so when I hit that first hill, I was probably hitting 30 miles an hour. Those streamers were flying. I felt like I was on a Harley Davidson. So I ran away to the neighboring next town over, which is about 13 miles away, and I just, I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I wanted to run away, that I'm out. I'm done with my family, done with all that. And then it started getting dark, and I realized I should probably get home because it's getting dark, it's getting late. So I decided to turn around and find my way back home, and the only way I knew back home was to get on a main highway. So at that point, I had actually pitched the bike that I was riding because some kids playing basketball made fun of me, so I threw it in a dumpster. I apologized to my sisters like 10 years later because they never knew where it went. But I'm walking down the highway back to our hometown, and a cop goes by, then turns around and comes and pulls right in front of me in a little kind of field entrance. And I just got so nervous, and he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Home." And he said, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "School." He said, "It's Saturday, and it's the summer, and it's 6 p.m. I'm like, okay, I ran away from home. And, at that point I started crying. And then he asked me what was in the bag. And I started crying even worse because I thought about that big knife I had. It was like a sword. And so I'm pulling out things, and I pull out this huge knife, and I'm like crying. He's like, what were we gonna do with that? I was crying profusely. I said, I was gonna jump out of a tree onto a deer and kill it. And he said, get in the car. We're gonna take you back to the station and call your parents. And I didn't know where I was going. All I knew was that I wanted to run away. And in my 12-year-old brain, that was what running away looked like. And no matter how bad off my home was at the time, very broken home, I knew that I still needed to go back. Because somewhere deep inside, I knew, okay, my family probably loves me. And as much as we try, we can't run from our family. We can't run from our problems because, like the old saying, wherever you go, there you are. And your problems follow you. And over the years, I realized that God was also wherever I went. That He was always pursuing me. He was always drawing me and calling me to Himself, calling me to something greater. He kept calling me to join Him into things that were bigger than myself. And there were many times when I decided I was going to run away from God. That He called me to do something, and I'm like, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this. And yet, He still pursued me. He still wanted me to be involved in His mission, and He never let me go.